Hi there. I am so glad you are here. It is day 3, and we are going to have so much fun today. We are talking about carrots, choices, and discipline. And there's so much that comes up for parents in each one of these things. Now, for carrots, we are not talking about the vegetable. I'm talking about a way to motivate your children to do what you need them to do, or to listen, or to cooperate. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, I did want to say, what is the end goal? Why are we giving carrots? Why are we talking about choices in regard to power struggles today? And discipline, why do we have to do it? Because really, it's hard. And we don't know if we're doing the right discipline, if it's going to work. A lot of times we threaten, and then we have to do the discipline, and it doesn't work out, and it doesn't change your child's behavior. And so, why are we doing it? Well, it's all about contribution. And in my mind, contributing to the family, contributing to the good of the family, contributing to the growth of the family in a positive, healthy way is the reason that we have to provide these incentives, these boundaries, these ways to teach and guide our kids. And the end goal is contribution. And the end goal after that, of course, is heaven, and to grow in virtue and to grow to be a saint. We want that for ourselves, and we also want it for our kids. So let's get started talking about carrots. Okay, I'm going to put the comments. Feel free to comment, but I also want to put up my little banners too. Let me see if I can do both. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is carrots. Why do I call it carrots? A lot of people would rather use punitive consequences. And I am all about motivating in a positive, forward moving way. I honestly believe that God wired us for abundance, for working towards the next good, because God is growing us towards Him. And so I'm constantly motivating my kids with something that they want that is for their good, something that a skill they're developing, something they're going to need in the future. So I operate forward in abundance. A lot of parents, their natural instinct is to control and to take away and to motivate negatively with a negative reinforcement. If you don't do this, I'm going to take away that. If you don't do this, you're not going to get to do that. And I'd like to put it in context of, as an adult, if you went to get a new job, and let's say you're 2 weeks into your new job, and your boss needs you to fulfill a certain things, and he asks you, he motivates you to do these things with a carrot. Okay, let's see if we can accomplish these 5 tasks. And if that happens, you're going to get a weekend out of town at the lake. Just sit a second and see how that feels for you versus same boss, same new job. And he says, we need to get these things accomplished. And if you don't, I'm going to take away your lunch hour. Or if you don't get the things accomplished on this list, you're going to have to stay later every night after work until 8 o'clock. So you can kind of see there's a positive way to motivate people to do things, and there's a negative. And I feel for myself that when I motivate in a negative way, it doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel good to my kids. I don't get the results that I want. And this is in my kids at home that I've been raising for 18 years. It also works the same in the kids that I work with in therapy. When I'm threatening or giving a punitive consequence for them not doing what I asked them to do, it doesn't have good results for me. So when I'm coaching parents, I'm not surprised when they're like, well, I told him he wasn't going to get this, or I told him I was going to take away his iPad, but the behavior didn't change. I'm not surprised because I don't think it's motivating for anybody to have stuff removed, taken away. And so I operate opposite of that. Okay, choices. So that's just a little bit about carrots. Think of something that a child is working towards. Think of something good you can give them. Let me give you 2 solid examples. So when my kids were little, and Dallas is, a sprawling metropolis, tons of traffic, the street right half a mile from my house is like 6 lanes. So cars everywhere all the time. So we're in the car a lot, getting to schools, getting to activities, sitting in traffic. The roads are terrible. So I would motivate my kids. They were often, we're in the car seats for years. It's hot in Dallas. And I just wanted my kids to know that I appreciated their time going to all the different activities, sitting and waiting in carpool for one child because the other older kid wasn't out of school yet. And so I would do Chinese fire drills, and it might be at the end of the week. It might be once every 2 weeks. It wasn't a set thing, but I would motivate for being patient and having a good attitude and being able to laugh and have fun and play games in our car seat and think of things to do because we're in the car by doing a Chinese fire drill. And so I would park us on, a street that was not rush hour busy, but we would unbuckle from our car seats and we would all get out of the car and we would run around, and I would be having, knew that there were no cars around us, but it was fun. It was spontaneous, and it felt kind of naughty because normally we're just buckled in, but my kids loved it. And so there are so many simple ways you can think of things to motivate your kids to be okay with where they are, what they're doing. And for me, sitting in carpool a lot when they didn't want to, I could motivate them to not complain or be whiny by saying, okay, we're going to get a Chinese fire drill, but I have to have, a good attitude. So try some of these things. I always want to try things that don't cost any money. They don't complicate your life at all. I mean, maybe stopping my car for, a minute while we ran around was 1 minute out of my time. So I didn't have to go out of my way. I didn't have to incur an expense. It didn't take me time to research this carrot that I was going to use to motivate for good behavior. That's always what I'm helping parents do. I don't want you to work harder. I actually want you to work less. I want it to be funner, less stressful, less fatiguing for you to figure all this stuff out. Okay, so that's one carrot. I wanted to tell you about an example of a little boy that I was working with last week and a carrot that I used for him, and it was so incredibly effective. And so this little boy is 4 years old. When I got there, he was doing some chores, and his mom was going to pay him for the chores and the contribution to the family that he was making to the household and the smooth running of the household. Well, he had done numerous things. She gave him a $1 bill, and he did not like it. He was not happy, and he did not want to spend any time with me. He had decided, why even do any work because I'm only getting paid $1. So he was not in the mood to work with me. So I found out that he was all about making money, right? That's what he wanted. So I said to him, hey, you know what? I have my wallet and I have money in it. And if you're all about doing good work and working to make money, I am very happy to pay you for your good work with me today. Okay, he was super excited. Normally, I give a game and a prize at every end of my 45, 50-minute therapy session with a child. That motivates them to work well. We know we're going to have fun at the end with a game, and then they also get a prize. So, but for this little boy, we were not doing the prize. He was going to get money. And I gave him 4 quarters because he did 4 very specific things for me that I asked very well. And so somebody could say, well, I don't think you should, pay a kid for doing what he's supposed to do in your therapy session. And I'm not paying him regularly. I saw him this week and money wasn't even brought up. But what I'm telling you is this was what I knew he was focused on. And so I used that carrot, that money that I knew he wanted to make. That is exactly what I used in that moment because that's what he was focused on. So when you are tuned in with your kids, they are giving you clues about carrots, things they want, things they would do to get, an extra 10 minutes on the Nintendo Switch or an extra 5 minutes on the playground. So use those things to get the behavior that you want to see. Okay, choices. I give lots and lots of choices to kids. And I find that when I give a lot of choices, I do not have issues with power struggles. And it seems like the counterintuitive, like, wait a minute. Okay, if I want the power, why am I giving all the choices? It seems like this wouldn't work. But remember, I often operate opposite of what the majority of normal parents do, and often parenting coaches, blog writers, book experts, doctors, whatever. I often do things the opposite and have amazing results. So for choices and power struggles with your kids, you are going to give choices in the things that you care nothing about. And little tedious choices your child thinks is a win. And we are trying to motivate them to fill up their little control bank. And so we all have this imaginary, need to have some control in our life. God made us that way. Even little kids, 2.5, 3, they want what they want. And I want them to get some of that because it's vital to them. But I'm not going to give any choice on what time they're going to bed, that they have to wear their jacket out when it's 20 degrees out. I'm going to say, do you want to wear your blue jacket or your red jacket? They're wearing a jacket. Do you want to take a bath with bubbles or no bubbles? They're still taking a bath. They're still cleaning their body. They just get a choice of it. And I could give a million choices about bath time. Do you want the water to go up to here or up to here? Do you want me to turn the hot water on first or the cold? I mean, I could exhaust anybody, I promise, and a child for sure. And so once you do this a few times, you can too. You're walking to the door. Oh, do you want to hold my left hand or my right hand when we're walking? It's not a choice of we're not going to get in the car, but I'm going to give you a choice of how you want to get there. And it's insignificant of which hand do you want to hold? Or do you want to walk in front of me or behind me? Do you want to open the door or do you want me to open the door? So there are so many ways that you can give your kids choices, and they need those choices to learn about themselves. And knowing ourselves is so incredibly important. And so when we allow them to make a choice, even though it seems really insignificant to us, it's teaching them, oh, I picked the red pajamas. They don't feel as good. I might have slept better in my blue ones. So they try the blue ones the next night. If we're giving them the bath and the bath water's more full, they might like it if that's what they picked, or they might pick it low. And so if you sit in a bath with the water really low, you might be cold. You want more water to keep you warmer. So it's things like that that they're learning about themselves. They're learning, this is what I like. This is how I like it. This is who I am. This feels like me. And again, parents are thinking, that means nothing. No, it means a lot to a young child. They're figuring out who they are, what they like, what they don't like. So important. So give them choices. Okay, on discipline, really quickly. Discipline does not have to be done in a dictator-like manner. And I am a gentle parent. I am in a connection parent. I'm in a partnership with my kids always. And so if I have to discipline them, I'm going to tell them, you know what? I wish we would have made a better choice. I was hoping we wouldn't have to, have this discipline. But that discipline doesn't have to come out in a harsh, mean, fly off the handle, temper-based way at all. And so when parents can calmly say, you know what? I gave you 2 chances to make a better choice, a different choice, and I'm really sorry you didn't. I was hoping you would make a better choice, but you didn't. So here's how that's going to play out. We are not going to be able to stay after a baseball practice and play with Jack on the playground. We've lost that privilege based on the choice that you made. And it's gentle, it's firm. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be really controlling and send a message of, I have so much power over you as a child. I don't want to send that message. It's not a good space. It's not a good place for any child to be, to feel like I have no say over my life. My parent is just going to be mean to me, come down on me, and come up with some way to, punish me. No, I don't want to show up like that because I'm about connection and contribution between the child and I and overall in my family. I want there to be peace. I want there to be a sense of goodwill. I want there to be harmony, knowing we are not going to agree on everything every single time. And as the parent, sometimes I have to make some choices for you that I know you don't like, but you have to trust me because I'm the parent and I have the fully functioning brain. You're the child, your brain is still growing. So we have to trust that mommy's choice is going to be better. But when you're communicating this stuff, when you're opting for connection at the same time as when you're disciplining, it has a really good outcome. You have a better chance of that behavior that you didn't want, that you're disciplining a child for, of that behavior going away, of them learning, okay, I'm not getting yelled at. I'm not getting this harsh punishment in a harsh way. My mom's telling me, like, I had 2 chances. I didn't listen. I didn't follow her directions. And so this is what had to happen. And then after I discipline, I real quickly want to repair and give a hug and let a child know that them making a choice to do something wrong does not mean that they are wrong. That if they make a choice that is not the best choice, it's a bad choice, it does not mean they are bad. And I always stress that with kids because, again, humans have a tendency to internalize. And if they undergo a lot of discipline in a harsh way, they begin to think, I'm bad. I'm bad. No, they are not bad. This choice was bad. This behavior I didn't like. It might have been bad, but you are not bad. You are good. God made you. You are good. And so I just really be really clear with your kids when you're disciplining them on that, because it's so important to keep that connection. And when you have connection with your kids, you can go so far and get so much accomplished without harsh words, without discipline, without struggle, without battles, because they feel like they're on your team. They're on your same team. They're getting to make choices. They are connecting with you. They have a carrot they're working for, and they're not getting things taken away. It's not negative. I want to stay positive. And again, that is so aligned with how God would want us to operate. I had one more thought and I just lost it. I can't think of it. Okay. I'll post it on Facebook in our group later. Okay, give me your comments. I want to talk to you really quickly about your homework for today. It is on carrots, choices, and discipline. And I want you to give me a current strategy that you use for positive motivation to get your kids to do what they want, what you want them to do, or discipline. Give me a few options of what you're using now. And then if it's working or what you don't like about it. And then also, I'm going to give you a new strategy. And you can let me know if you have any ideas on strategies to use based on the information that you found out from your sensory profile. Because a lot of times when you learn about that sensory profile, you can figure out how to get your child motivated based on sometimes the things that we see, their sensitivities. Okay, good luck on the challenge worksheet. I will see you tomorrow, and I have something super exciting tomorrow that is new and different that I cannot wait to talk to you about. So let's have a great day, and I will see you later in the Facebook group.